Bryan Cranston, widely known as one of the greatest actors in television history for playing characters such as Walter White,
$672,000 each.
Hey, come on, baby! Come on! Yes! Come on!
Hal in Malcolm in the Middle.
Sorry. Look, you don't understand. I have been searching and searching. I'll give you double what you paid for it. No, I'll give you triple.
And many more, began his career playing small and inconsequential characters in various TV shows. And not only that, he did some dubbing on the side, which included a lot of anime. Our journey begins in 1983 with Bryan Cranston's first movie role, dubbing over the Bulgarian animated film Treasure Planet. Why is this important? Because the dub was commissioned by Harmony Gold, which were known during the 80s for licensing and dubbing many anime. After this, he continued to work with them, recording at the Harmony Gold owned Intersound Studios through the years of 1983 to 1985. Also, many legendary anime voice actors got their start here, some even on the same projects as Cranston, like Barbara Goodson, Steve Blum and Wendy Lee. I won't be going over everything he's been in, only notable entries and ones with an interesting background. The anime Cranston worked on through these years were few, and some even being lost, like Undersea Encounter, which never got a home release in English, and was only aired on TV a few times. Apparently the only recording out there is with a Russian translator speaking over it. In 1984, Harmony Gold produced a dub of Akira Toriyama's Dr. Slump to serve as a pilot for bringing the series to US television. The dub changed many characters' names and even cut out entire scenes.
This is Tammy LaFox. I'm pleased to meet you.
Although Bryan Cranston only had a very minor role in this.
Oh! You need to see a dentist. This is not a commercial, folks.
It failed to gather steam, so no more episodes were dubbed, and was assumed lost until sometime in 2017 when it surfaced online. I'm keeping this part brief because I wouldn't really consider these roles notable, and the stories behind these anime aren't all that interesting either. After this small bout, he would take a 9-year break from dubbing, but not acting as a whole, as he would appear in both advertisements and TV shows, though the latter mostly in minor roles.
Now you can relieve inflamed hemorrhoidal tissue with the oxygen action of Preparation H. It accelerates absorption of pure oxygen to help shrink swelling of inflamed hemorrhoidal tissue, as it often relieves pain and itch for hours. Preparation H with oxygen action.
1994 would mark Cranston's return to dubbing anime with his work for animes, whose dubs are absolutely legendary. Cowboy Bebop, Code Geass, Akira, Ghost in the Shell, and way more. And this is where things get interesting in my opinion, because the things he was in were actually good. During this time he did a background character in the OVA series Moldiver. His other role was for side character Matty Tone in the movie that got Studio Gainax of Evangelion fame on the map.
5, 6, 3, 4, 10, 8.
Marty, what the hell are you steamrolling me for?
Royal Space Force: The Wings of Honamai had already got a dub in 1987 under the name StarQuest. This dub was actually the first the world ever saw of Royal Space Force, screened at the Chinese Man's Theatre on Hollywood Boulevard on February 19th, 1987, before it was released back home in Japan a month later. This dub not only changed names of characters to sound more American, but also changed story details and dialogue, which was a common practice for dubs at the time.
Hey, Jeffrey!
Oh! I'm Tony Morelli.
The dub went lost until March 31st of 2023 when it was found and released online by Nicholas Wallstrom. Not sure how though. The 1994 dub would be the definitive English version, remaining more faithful to the original Japanese along with a new cast of voice actors which included Bryan Cranston. The 4-part OVA series Macross Plus saw Bryan Cranston play its main character Isamu Dyson. Macross Plus is an absolute spectacle to watch, and I was lucky enough to see the edited movie version in the cinema. Brilliant animation, story and music especially, which is what Macross is known for. Music and mechs, or jet things. Cranston voiced in all 4 episodes of course, but there was some issue with the 4th episode. I'm unsure as to what the issue actually was, as I've seen some people say it was licensing or they couldn't get the audio master, but the sound design in the 4th episode of the dub was completely different from the Japanese version. The music was from past episodes and the sound effects were stock, and of course all the voices were in English too.
What have you done? Where is she? What did you do? Where is she?
Bandai, unhappy with this, redubbed the 4th episode years later for the Japanese home video releases, as they had included English dubs on the previous volumes. But due to most of the old cast being unavailable, they recast them, which included Cranston. In this version, he was replaced by none other than gaming legend David Hayter.
You're pretty good.
Who wasn't unfamiliar to dubbing in anime at the time, voicing Barney in Mobile Suit Gundam War in the Pocket, and even a character in Moldiver, of which Cranston was a background character in.
As long as I have this power. I too can become a superhero. Yes!
On the most recent English release of Macross Plus, you can find both versions of the 4th episode, although I'm not sure about the Macross Entertainment DVD. The dub even includes a disclaimer on the Blu-ray release, citing some translation issues. But even despite this, I do think the original dub is excellent. David is obviously fantastic at voice acting, but I do think Bryan's voice fits a lot more.
Ever since we were kids, you'd always be tagging along behind me like some kind of lonesome pet. Why don't you go chasing some woman's ass for once, huh? What? Oh, as if you don't remember. That chicken race we had on New Year's Day? Even after I won, you cried foul on me.
You're the first one to hit the ground, or are you trying to rewrite history now?
Just how bad is your memory, you slacker? And do you know what you never returned? That Guns Live CDV that I loaned you that one time, you thief! Damn it! Ever since we were kids, I couldn't shake you from tagging along! Why don't you chase after a girl's ass for a change? What?
And what about that New Year's Day chicken race we had? You told me I cheated even though I won fair and square!
What? So you think you can rewrite history now?
You know you were the first one to hit the ground! And you never gave back that gun CDB! You thief! You outright stole it!
The relation to Metal Gear Solid doesn't end there, however, with Cranston playing Eddie Barrows in Armitage III.
Might have found herself some kind of wild lover.
And its compilation film subtitled The Polymatrix. The dub for the compilation film recast both main characters from Joyce Kurtz and Skip Strelak to Elizabeth Berkley and Kiefer Sutherland, the latter going on to voice Venom Snake in Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes and Phantom Pain.
Kept you waiting, huh?
Obviously his other roles don't count, like, forget that he's a Hollywood actor as well.
Pal, I sure hope you feel better than you look.
I can't understand why my other arm hurts so much.
Also in this year, he appeared in the Street Fighter II movie as Fei Long.
No! We're not done yet! You haven't seen anything!
Outside of his performance, the dub for this film has an unbelievable amount of versions. A PG-13 dub with no swearing, a more vulgar version, and another with all the swearing anyone could ever ask for.
Bison, I'm gonna rip your lousy heart out, you filthy creep! Bison, I'm gonna rip your lousy heart out, you filthy bastard! Bison, I'll rip your fucking heart out, you filthy bastard!
And even then, the dub has a different soundtrack to the Japanese version. And when the film came to Netflix, they used the original soundtrack in the dub, so it has a grand total of 4 versions. In these 3 dubs, Cranston used a pseudonym. For Armitage III and Macross Plus, it was Lee Stone, and under Phil Williams for the Street Fighter II movie. After this, he worked on 2 more dubs, which were commissioned by Saban Entertainment. Saban Entertainment are an American production company who you may know for making Power Rangers, which Cranston actually did voice work in through 1993 and 1994. These dubs were heavily edited to comply with the censorship rules, which included never ever mentioning death. This affected both dubs, but Eagle Riders was to suffer the most from these guidelines. Eagle Riders was the amalgamation of Gatchaman 2 and Gatchaman Fighter, and at the end of Gatchaman 2 the villain dies.
So they cut it completely and pretended they transformed into Gatchaman Fighter's villain.
Cranston voiced Joe Thax in this one, which isn't actually his name because they changed everyone's names.
Kelly, we're done with scouting the castle. Now we need your presence to help plan our strategy.
They also did that for Technoman, the other Saban show. This had 2 versions, one for the international audiences, although only broadcast in Australia, and one for the States. Both dubs were cut as per usual, and only 43 of the 49 episodes made the cut, and the US version had more cut than the international version as well.
We'll complete this mission without any help from you, superhero. You're wrong. Listen, my young friend, this is the most highly trained bunch of commandos in the army. We've never needed anyone's help before, and we don't now. Am I right, lads?
After this, the only role Cranston played was for the 1993 movie Ramayana, based on the Indian text of the same name. The film originally got an English dub in India shortly after release.
I am Ram, the Prince of Ayodhya, son of Dashrath.
But then in 2000 was redubbed in the US, and the film's length was cut down from 120 to 90 minutes. I have no clue why it was redubbed, but it's extremely hard to come by and I can't find it anywhere online outside of this very low quality trailer, so just enjoy this.
I have the determination to win this war with the help of you brave soldiers. Robin must be destroyed, or else there will be no lasting peace on Earth.
That ends Bryan Cranston's various ventures into the anime world, and who knows, maybe he'll appear in something again in the future. Ghibli movies always have celebrity casts nowadays. Hell, The Boy and the Heron had Luke Skywalker, the Green Goblin, Batman, and Batman again. I've thought celebrities voicing an anime has been a very interesting thing for a while now. I'm already interested in how they dub anime, but knowing that someone like Bryan Cranston dubbed anime to get by before his breakout roles is just really, really cool.